really is talking to all the marketers. So what is that one thing that you really are still very much, interested in or curious about this field? Like what is keeping you going in marketing?
Data.
Mhm.
Now I'll tell you what I mean. Everything in marketing, for me at least, comes from data. Now, how do I decode and find more and more data about all the touch points?
Mhm.
That's what wakes me up every day in the morning, because there are not many tools that can filter well, right?
Right.
I am finding those partners, those apps, those softwares. And even when I do that, what am I creating out of the data?
Mhm. Mhm.
So for me, this data management is in marketing is what is sort of keeping me on my toes, because it helps in every single touch point, even if it's creatives, even if it's a strategy for sure, but
Right.
even if it's a creative approach, right? Like if it's especially a digital first brand, what is it all about? Data.
Yeah, having like that backdrop, right? Like some reference point or something like that. No, I agree. And I also agree with the point that even in today's day and age of so much advanced technology and AI and this and that, still that data is still, I would say, not there yet, like clean, fresh data, relatable
Correct.
data is still hard to get.
Correct.
So-
And especially with Apple, right? Like they have so many restrictions. The fight between Apple and Meta, where you cannot track an Apple user's data like you can for an Android users.
Yeah.
So how do I crack that? How? This how is always.
Keeps you going, huh? That's great. That's fantastic to hear. Actually, I think it leads us to our next section, which I'm going to, it's something very interactive. And I'm going to take you to that marketing portal. And we are just going to randomly open up one of those 10 cards. Data is also one of them. And just tell us your thoughts, like how that particular card applies in your day-to-day marketing strategy or the brands that you work with. So,
Wow, this is so interesting.
yeah, so I think it's something that I'm introducing to the users as well. It's really a portal where you can play with some of the key marketing cards per se, or the pillars, which involves different. I can show you the cards, which involves the brand, customer, the key cards, which we kind of work on a day-to-day basis. Of course, data is one of them. And this is really the first phase in a tarot deck. There are actually 72 cards, and I didn't want to confuse everybody. So I'm going to slowly introduce, the second layer after a few weeks. But this is really the base layer, I feel personally, from my research and from my analysis. And what we are going to do as an exercise for you is try and randomly open a card and see how that plays in your day-to-day stuff. So do you have any preference from one side to the other to open up?
I think the right side, anything on the right side.
Okay, let's do that. Let's see. I have this. Let's see what we have here. It's the Okay.
Queen.
Well, I don't know what to say here, but really for my audience, what I'm trying to do is just highlight some of the key aspects of this card. Obviously, it's the customer card. You need to know your audience, who your customer is, get a very deep understanding of, what they do on a daily basis, their actions, how they take their decisions, and have some level of empathy, right? Like some kind of a human connection to your customer. Your customer is not just a card, which literally what I'm showing right now, but they are humans, right? So that's the whole idea. But over to you, like what and how you apply this card on a day-to-day basis.
I think this is the card we work on. Any marketer, this is the card we work on, and this is the center of our universe, right? Any product innovation, any changes in even basic communication revolves around this one card or this one cohort, which is your customer. But one thing that people often we say is customer is the king or customer is the queen, etc. I feel when you say that customer is the king and queen, you take away the fact that your product is also also the king and queen. What I mean here is we focus on, let's do this for the customer, let's give offers for the customer, customer so much. We forget what are we giving to the customer, the product. Let's innovate the product. It's like, how does a diamond become a diamond? When you keep brushing the rock. So how do you take a product and make it a diamond? For me, layer one is your product is top notch. There is a very strong differentiation.
Yeah. I think what you're saying, if I can put it in a line, like instead of being customer pleasing, right? You should probably be product pleasing and see what aspect of your product pleases the customer instead of vice versa.
And this right set of customers will be, it's like a magnet. If you're putting the magnet at the right pole, the right set of people will get attracted to you. And then there's a layer of customer service, CSR, all of that comes into picture.
Yeah, but really, if I would ask you a very brutal question, like how do you get customers in today's day and age? What is the channel that you think, and is there a channel, like one magic channel that is working today, or is it really goes case by case?
I think it depends on the category majorly, because if it's health, the channels are very different. Anything to do with your skin, the channels are very different. And if it's clothing, highly suggest going offline and then having an online presence, but focusing on offline first.
That's true. I mean, again, it's never a one size fits all. So you can have some similarities, but I think it's really by industry, by segment, what I would say what condition the company is in. Is it, really in initial stages? Is it, what's the actual objective, So that's everything is dependent upon your strategy, basically. So great. That's a great insight. Thank you for this. I think since we are here on the portal, let me also get your perspective of where you are currently, right? With, the handful of clients that you have, which I'm sure are from different industries. If I ask you to give me your best hand of cards currently, like wherever you are in whatever, scenario, what is the best 3 cards that are usually part of your strategy or are currently part of your strategy?
Storyteller, community, ROI.
Of course, that has to be there. Very, very interesting. I was hoping to have data in there too, but I'm sure you will explain me how data comes maybe behind storytelling or behind community. So there you go. You have these 3 cards. I do have my insights from the different combination of cards, but obviously you can explain more. But as per me, what I'm trying to say is, if you have a strong story, if it emotionally resonates, it really grows with time. The word of mouth is still very strong. People still have that emotional angle, whatever machines or tools we have today, but that human side of things is still very much there. And that kind of results in long-term value. But please go ahead and say what you have to say.
I think you just nailed it. You just said what I was about to say in different words, but you just got the gist. It's exactly that. And I'll tell you where data comes here also, right? When you have your story and community in place, it gives you data in terms of audience, in terms of your brand health, BHT, like we say, brand health tracking. Everything comes into picture, and that's where it takes you to the ROI. When your storytelling and your community are combined, it gives you the data of who is liking what and everything about your customer, right? If you know my personality, it's easier for you to understand me. But if you don't know my personality, you're just vaguely guessing. That's what happens when you don't know. Community and storytelling, for me, it's very important, because if you tell the right set of stories, your community, you attract the right set of community, which is your customers, which gives you data and takes you to your ROI.
And ROI is very much important, right? I mean, I think that's always part of, I would say, most of the people's deck. I mean, you have to work towards an objective. I don't know if you still have people who have brand visibility as replaced as ROI. Do you still come across such companies?
I do. It's just because for them, it comes from different stakeholders. So for them, which stakeholder is louder is what is important.
And is it, just a follow-up question on that, is it usually bigger, mid or bigger size companies who go towards brand visibility? You might think, right?
200%.
No, I think that's great to know. Community, again, I think in every way it's the trump card. Again, it's something of a long-lasting and long-term value, as I said. I mean, you would would agree, right?
I have seen brands being bought out solely because they have a very strong community. They have got 3x the value of their competitor in terms of acquisition solely because they have a very strong community. Company that bought them out knows that even if the founders don't exist, people will still opt for the brand.
I agree. It's all about building the community, right? Thank you so much. I really appreciate you giving insights on this. What did you think of the portal?
I was charmed by it from the second you you presented. It is so interesting, and I think the reason why I also agreed and I said, okay, you know what, let's do this, because marketing tarot is something I've never heard, which I'm sure it's something you innovated. And second, the way you've done the entire UI of it, it's so interesting. The end time, everyone's into tarot and something spiritual, right? Reiki, etc.
Yeah.
Just marketified it, like if that's even a word. And it's so good, and it gives you these small, like I read these small words which are enough, like these nuggets for my brain to understand. It's so simple,
a good idea.
It's so clean, and I love it. I want to play around more,
It's really an open portal for all. If I have to tell you, Reshmi, it's really somebody who sometimes people don't know what you're a marketing manager, what you do, and how you do. You come here, you see how much of strategy, how much of logic, intuition it takes for a marketing person to build a campaign or to decide their next strategy. And it's a way to have a playful take on marketing. It's just, I've also put a feature called Get Your Reading, which is again very superficial, I may say. It's really not getting too deep, but it's also for current marketing managers to kind of verify what they are doing and see if they can get some ideas or inputs with some very basic questions that I have here, and you can compare your strategy, or you can maybe get a nice insight for your next strategy. So that's the whole motive, to really help the marketers from all aspects. Thank you for this. We do have a link here to a newsletter. I have a small community that has started following me. So anybody who would like to follow, including you, Reshmi, please feel free. Again, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. I do have one last question that I would love for you to throw your insights on. Is, do you have anything or any challenges or any questions, any trends that you have in mind that you would want to re-verify with other marketers? Or maybe I can share it with the next guest who's coming on board and start the podcast with that. Do you have anything in mind to ask them?
One question which I keep asking anyone that I meet at conferences, summit, which is, how are you choosing an AI tool for your strategy, marketing strategies? Now the word strategy is large. Okay, it could be everything. How are you choosing that one tool for that one specific task? How?
Very interesting. I do have an insight into this, but I will leave it to my next guest to answer that, and maybe we can just interact offline on that. Just on my views on this. But it's a very, very relevant and a very interesting question, I must say, with the kind of options that we have, in the market right now. But thank you so much for your time. Really, really appreciate it. And once again, it's going to be really special because you are our first guest. So this is going to be very memorable. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you so much. And I'll wait to see, and I'm sure this podcast is going to go and grow.
Thank you, and have a great, great day. And thank you, viewers, for joining us. Really appreciate you giving us the time.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.